What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 89 of the Tastecast, our weekly podcast where we talk about things, react to things, do much random shit by himself.
I'm Chevy.
And I'm Chris.
And we're back, baby, after like 2 weeks of not doing Tastecasts. It's going to be a little weird, a little rusty, but we're going to get through this. Quick reminder to play Hitman Season 1 and For Honor, both offer free on PlayStation Plus. Make sure to download those, play those, come back at the end of the month, and we'll talk about it on Plus Club. Let us know your opinions of the games. We'll let you know ours, and our Game of the Month randomly picked is Soul Calibur 6. Also play that and talk to us at the end of the month on Game of the Month. And a very, very gentle reminder, next month, I get to pick Game of the Month. I'm very excited.
I wonder what it'll be.
I don't know. I've been playing a lot of games recently. I'm trying to figure out what we should all be playing. Also, we have a Discord link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. We have a new Apex Legends section. If you're playing that game, you want to show off that you are winning or complain that you're not winning. I'm experiencing both quite a bit. And we are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you'd prefer to listen to us, and if you're listening to us and you want to check us out on YouTube, check us out at Tasty Loot Gaming. We shoot every single episode. Yeah, so with every Tastecast, we typically start out with what we've been playing. I have 11 games on my list, so I don't know if I should go first or last.
Probably last.
Okay, yeah. And ladies first.
Well then, in that case.
Just jump on in.
I've been playing Warframe here a bit. Not too much, nothing crazy to report there. I played some Hitman.
Nice.
That's, Game of the Month, or Plus Club, so can't talk too much about it, but I've been playing it.
But be honest with me. How far have you gotten into it?
I've done the first 2 missions.
Okay.
First 2?
Yeah.
We did the same exact amount.
Have you got to the fashion show?
Yes.
Okay, I was about to say, at least play that level.
Yeah.
Before you give up on the game or something like that. Because
you're further then.
Because before that, it's all tutorial. The fake bow is part of the tutorial, and the fake hanger is part of the tutorial. So.
Right.
Even though they're really robust and you can replay them multiple times with multiple different outcomes. So it gets kind of confusing. I just want to make sure you guys know those are not the actual levels yet.
Yeah, no, I plan on playing more. I just haven't had time. I've also been playing a lot of Monster Hunter lately.
Nice.
Because the Witcher 3 crossover event is up.
I need to play it.
And it's a bitch and a half.
Damn.
The monster you fight is an ancient lichen, something like that, some sort of forest monster. It has the most health. Yeah, the forest lychee.
Yeah.
It has like 65,000 health or something like that. It has more health than the extreme behemoth does.
Damn.
By a lot. So it's a bitch and a half to fight, and it routinely one-shots everybody. It's really hard. It's not soloable. Like, you have to have a party of 4 just to output enough damage to kill it.
I'm stressed out even hearing about that.
I spent 3 hours the other day trying to beat it and didn't beat it once.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, they really went for a challenge on that then.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't think I'm even ready to do that.
I'm not.
I'm just gonna put on my healing hunting horn and sit in the corner and just play the Healy song over and over again while everybody else does stuff.
You guys do the work. I'll just keep you alive.
What's that guy doing over there swinging that club around?
Knocking out, dude. Having a blast.
Wow.
We're all going to die anyway. Might as well party.
And then I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Just catching up on stuff.
Okay, so this is where I'm confused. You are working now, and you're somehow playing Warframe, Monster Hunter, and Final Fantasy 14. Is there multiple Chris's?
That is confusing to me, too.
Did you get cloned?
It's possible.
That's so much game.
I don't leave the house on my days off.
Yeah. Oh, this weekend, aside from going to the dentist, I was like, last weekend I was living in a cave, living by candle fucking light, and playing Monopoly. So this weekend, I'm literally just going to mold myself into my chair and fucking just play video games the whole time. And I have been so far.
I've been trying to do the same. I haven't gone full bore, but I have played quite a bit this weekend, which was nice. So
I had somebody take a metal pick and put it right up in my gums and just scrape and scrape and scrape. And I opted out of getting fully numbed out for numbing gel, which isn't as good. So it's kind of painful, and it was pretty bloody. And I would have rather done that today again than last weekend. because I was bored last weekend.
We're going to see if your gums are bleeding by taking this needle-sharp metal object and shoving it in your mouth. Oh, look, you're bleeding. Oh, look, you're bleeding.
Yeah.
It's to get the stuff out. So.
Yeah.
Sure. Gum disease.
Welcome to Gum Disease Gaming, where we talk all things dental and gaming.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything to report in any of those games?
Other than the Witcher 3 event being a bitch, but it's got some cool armor. No.
Yeah. Fuck. I need to catch up in that game.
I mean, the weapon you get is end game viable, so it's not like just some sort of fun looking weapon. It's
cool.
It's a really potent sword and shield that does a lot of dragon damage.
I was about to say, if they're gonna make it really fucking hard, hopefully it's not just something cool looking you get.
Yeah,
So.
no, there's Geralt armor and his swords, which are a sword and shield, and then you get Cersei armor and you get her swords, which are dual daggers.
Siri?
Yeah, that one. Whatever.
The phone chick. The chick on your phone.
Yeah, that one. Siri. Yeah.
It's like, hi, Chevy. It's like every time I ever hear her talking.
Yeah, because I always forget my fucking phone screen turns on by itself when it is faced up now, because my old phone didn't do that. And I'll hit the home button on it as well. Not the home button, the power button. But it'll turn Siri on sometimes because I'll hold it a little too long. And then I'll just be talking and not looking. And all of a sudden it's like, I don't understand what you're saying, Chevy. I'm like, God, I'm not talking to you, bitch.
I'm not talking to you, motherfucker. Shut up. Get out of my business, bitch. All right. What have you been playing?
I also played a little bit of Hitman. I have done because you do the boat part twice, and then I'm in the third part right now. So that's where I left off. So not far enough to really have a solid opinion, just enough to know how the game feels control-wise.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. What else did I play? I played off and on because I keep forgetting we didn't do shit last weekend. So I got to kind of pull back another week of memories, and this doesn't work so well. Dragon Quest 11, I have been making a point to at least every couple days play it for a couple hours because I would like to get through it
Before it comes out on Switch, you got to buy it again.
Well, that's not going to happen. But
I'm buying it
without spoiling anything for anyone who's playing the game and is interested. But for people who have beat it and they know more of my progress, that I got the 6th orb.
And another spoiler: all the characters look like Dragon Ball Z.
So I have 6 Dragon Balls.
They didn't know, yeah.
Cha-long, hey, cha-long.
Copyright.
Yeah, we're gonna get in trouble. That was too good. It's too accurate. It's exactly the song.
Playing that game, it's still fun. It's really good. It's funny because like I'm never like oh, I gotta go play Dragon Quest, but as soon as I am playing it, I don't want to shut it off.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign for that game.
Yeah, I miss it.
You can still play
like an old friend who left.
Let's see what else I play. I downloaded a couple of the demos from after Nintendo Direct happened, and then we played a couple during the Snowpocalypse.
Also, if you want to see our reactions to Nintendo Direct, it was like 2 episodes ago.
I will try to remember to put a card up in the top corner here. Let's see. I tried the ARMS demo for a moment because I had never played that during the Snowpocalypse.
Yeah, you hated it instantly.
Yeah, I hate the way
as soon as it started.
It's purely motion control, purely.
Yeah,
I'm not into it.
I thought it looked kind of neat. It looked like gimmicky as fuck. But
super.
But as soon as it started, you're like, I hate this.
Super responsive. I have to give him that.
It looked pretty responsive.
Very responsive.
I hated how the characters moved, but
yeah, it's definitely like to show off the motion of the Switch, and it is very good in that regard.
They fit a lot of weird shit into those very, very, very small little things they call controllers.
Yeah.
I don't know how they do it.
I showed you.
Those things vibrate pretty fucking hard too.
Puyo Pop Tetris.
Yeah.
So you got to see that a little bit.
Did you play Tetris 99?
I downloaded it. You have to have their premium service, their online service to play it though. So I hadn't had a chance to actually play it yet. I want to
try
pay for their online service to play it. So. Downloaded Daemon X Machina's demo. That is, if you are unfamiliar, it kind of looks like Armored Core, and some of the people who worked on Armored Core are working on it.
Took the visual and gameplay style of Armored Core and made their own game.
And so far, it plays pretty all right. I think I need to spend a little more time with it on
played
a
it?
bigger screen. Yeah, a little bit.
Oh,
I was downloaded a
nice.
demo for Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. Played that a little bit. There's a lot of neat things there, and a lot of things I wish were still there. I'm mixed on it. So
Oof, I don't like that.
we'll see. I'm just so used to like fighting, and a lot of the game you're not.
I was actually really stoked on it, and then somehow I completely missed that it didn't have fighting. And then you told me, and I just didn't believe you.
It does have fighting against trainers. No random encounters.
Yeah,
though.
that's not. Yeah, and you told me, and I was like, that can't be real. And then you told me like days later, you like said it again. I'm like, wait, it doesn't have fighting. You told me, I'm like, that can't be real. That's not a thing. Finally looked into it. I was like, what the fuck? How are they gonna remake that whole game and leave that out?
You know, I feel like and I showed you Octopath Traveler.
Which is really fucking neat looking, and I love the music.
Yeah,
it reminds me of PlayStation era RPGs, which
100%.
is a very high compliment, because that was like the era for RPGs.
Yeah. No, I love that. I need to sit down and just beat it. What did we play? Fire Emblem Warriors. We played that too a little bit.
Which made me want to pick it up, because I love Fire Emblem, and I love hitting things.
Yeah, and
That's what it does.
I would say it's a Warriors game. So
Yeah.
if you're into just beating up, large hordes of people with an overpowered hero,
Luckily,
it's a
it
fun
had
game.
a lot of characters in it too, and it seemed like it had because all those games that take after other properties always have their own little thing that is supposed to be like that property, and like some of the games just don't nail it the same way. Like some games don't have enough characters to get the whole Dynasty Warriors feel,
for sure.
and some of them don't have enough features to really make them like. I have the Berserk game that they made, and it's cool because it's Berserk. But I was playing, I'm like, this doesn't have enough stuff in it though for this kind of game. It's still you're just walking and hitting shit, like hitting the same button over and over again. And I need a lot of loot and a lot of characters for that.
And Fire Emblem has both, fortunately.
Yeah.
So
And
we
Berserk
played
has a
that.
bunch of characters, and they only have like 9 in there. I was like, what the fuck?
It might not have been a high priority dev wise, resource wise for them. So
I own it though.
yeah. What else did I play? Final Fantasy 14. If anyone who watches plays that, I am working on my Eureka weapon, and I am almost done with the Pagos step of that. So I'll be moving on to Pyros,
It's a whole other language.
pretty much. I'm almost halfway done with my weapon. Is the best way to put that. Community member Psycho Scream joined our free company today as
About time. About fucking
He's
time.
on our server and
About
our free
time.
company. So anyone who's
Been
interested,
slacking.
Coral is the server on the Aether data center.
Cool.
Tasty Loot Gaming is a free company.
I scared Chris.
It's just grossed out by the way you said that.
Yeah. So you weren't the one that had to force that out of your throat. Did not feel good. Didn't sound good. Wasn't worth it. But I like to try new things, so
I think that's it.
I need to hop back into Final Fantasy. And I will, because I always do.
You and Keith.
Keith,
Oh, he left, huh?
He's been gone a while.
What's he been playing?
World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
It's his turn now. What are you been playing, Keith? Let's hear about it. Yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it. I the one thing I think I want to add is, and obviously, it's been a topic of conversation a lot lately. I want to try Apex Legends out a little bit.
You should.
So do I.
Everybody likes it. Even the people who didn't want to like it like it. Although I have to say, the microtransactions do kind of suck, but the game has to make money, so just don't buy them.
It has to make money. Don't support it.
If they hate them, don't do it.
For
But
sure.
fucking, you want
Speak
that game
with
to
your
be
wallet.
successful? Yeah, fucking give them money. They deserve it. The game's great. My turn.
You're up.
Okay, I got a lot. I played a lot of games. I bought like 4 games, and then my power went out for 5 days, 4 days, 3 days, whatever the fuck. And then when the power came on one of those days for like an hour or two, I just hopped onto my PS4 and bought like 4 other games, and then the power went out, and I was like, Okay. I'm never going to play all these games. And then fucking Far Cry, New Dawn, and Metro Exodus came out the same day. And I was like, fuck. So, all right, let's get into this. I bought, on a whim, Override Mech City Brawl, which is a game we watched a video on a while back on this channel. We had never even heard of it until we watched it. Me and Chevy seemed pretty interested in it. Yeah. I, not being super hyped on it, don't mind supporting a smaller company, and I was curious about it, so I bought the game. It's exactly what you'd expect. You pretty much pick one of many. It seems like there's at least 12 or 14 mechs to pick from.
Oh, nice.
That all have a shitload of outfits you'd expect from a game like Overwatch or Apex Legends, or any games like that where there's a lot of cosmetics. You unlock them from playing the game. There's also weapons you can unlock that you can summon down to use against monsters. It has a single player for every single mech, which is interesting. They all have their own story, which is kind of cool. And then it's got a bunch of brawl stuff that you can do, just like arcade type shit. One thing or two things about it I think are kind of weak outside of just everything about it is like it feels like a smaller company made it, and it's fun. It's fun. But it's the combat isn't, and it might get better because there's like perks and stuff you unlock to add to your character, which is kind of cool. You can make builds, but it feels flat. It feels like you're just kind of hitting the triggers and just swinging forward. And you got to aim your character at them and swing at them, and it doesn't feel tight. It doesn't play super tight feeling. So it's just something you'd have to get used to. And then shit, there's another thing I was going to say and I completely forgot. There's a bunch of destructible buildings, but they destruct as soon as you touch them. I thought it'd be cooler if you flew into them, they'd break over time or get hit enough and get destroyed. I'd like that more because you get a sense of destruction and power versus like the buildings are just decorations that you just kind of break like they're Christmas ornaments. Like every time you even like your toe touches one, they go. I'm like, okay, it's kind of boring. So, but yeah, I couldn't really highly recommend it to anybody unless you really want to support that and you think that kind of game, giant mechs fighting monsters sounds fun. But I don't regret buying it. So I'll probably play it some more. Hopefully next time Josh comes over, me and him could probably play it because he likes those kind of games. I've been playing Apex Legends like everybody else on the planet. And it's very fun. I got to play shout outs to Almixai, Psycho, and Wade, even though he's coldest of Reapers. He revealed his name early on when we first started talking to him, so now he's just Wade. Which is great. It's great. But it's not as there's less allure to it as if we call him coldest.
Or like Almixai or Psycho.
Yeah, even though we know Almixai's name.
I know Psycho's as well.
Dare not speak it. You know Psycho's name?
From PlayStation.
Oh shit. He also revealed where he's from recently too. We're finding out stuff about that boy. I will not reveal it here. I'm not a doxer. But yeah, I played with those three and a bunch of random people. Got quite a bit of wins. Did a highlight video if you want to check that out. The quality's shit. I apologize. I recorded those on my PS4, put them on a fucking flash stick, put them on my computer. They didn't work in Premiere, so I had to convert them to a format that worked. So they're already lower quality, lower the quality even more. So that's why it looks like that. But game's really fun, really happy with it. It's a blast to play, really fun to play with friends. Has super intuitive features, and I think everybody should at least try the game, especially since it's free to play. I'm not going to talk about it too much though. I just confirming it's still really fun. I can't wait to see what they add to it later down the road. Didn't get to talk about this, so I'm bringing up now. I played the Division 2 beta last week and the weekend before. When the fuck did I play it? I played it at some point.
It was during this week, I thought.
Yeah, it happened. When it happened, that's when I happened. And it looks way better than the Division 1. I actually like the setting a lot better. Everything about it feels better, but it is the Division. I mean, like, if you're like, oh man, I hope it's like a new and big and robust version of the Division, or has some new big feature. It has a bunch of small new features. So overall, it feels more interesting, but it's still absolutely the Division. So if you liked the Division, you're probably gonna like Division 2. I'm gonna pick it up just because I did like the Division. But when I played it, I wasn't like, I gotta get this. I was just like this. The whole time I played it, I was like, this would be really fun with friends. So
yeah,
But I like the environment way better in this game.
I'm having a hard time with that genre right now.
Yeah, I mean it's fair.
Yeah, and it's not because
it was never super strong in the first place.
Well, it's not that I dislike them. I just haven't really been in the mood. Like, I don't really want to play Destiny 2. Division 2, like, I'm interested in, and we'll probably pick it up at some point, but I'm not, like, clamoring for it. Same with Anthem. And I don't have anything to say about that game because I haven't tried it. Like,
yeah.
I can just go by what people say, but personal opinion-wise, I don't have one.
Man, what people are saying about Anthem is, yeah, it's fine, to this, I uninstalled this game after 10 hours. I've been seeing YouTube videos all over the place going like, it's uninstalled. I'm not playing this. I was like, okay.
Well, yeah. So, regardless, I wasn't going to rush out to buy it anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm even bringing up the Division 2 is like, I am going to pick it up. I liked the Division enough, and this is the Division, again, with better graphics, plays better, has more features. But I'm also not going to overhype it. I'm not going to be like, oh, you guys got to pick this up. I'm going to pick it up, blah, blah, blah. I don't even know if I'll buy it the first day. Probably will, just because I do that a lot of the times with fucking everything. But this isn't something I'm going to be like, I got to get this. Yeah. So, yeah. Because I'm getting fatigued from these kind of games because I know what to expect. Until one surprises me, I don't think I can get excited for these kind of games anymore. Just because none of them are pushing the envelope. None of them. Like, say whatever the fuck you want to say about the Division 2, Anthem, Destiny 2, whichever one you like the most, whichever one you think fucking sucks. None of them deliver what we want. None of them do. They just do something we like and we'll fucking take. But then we get to a point where we're like, this is the weak part. This is the weak part. This is the weak part. And there's not a whole lot of other types of games that we really accept that in the genre.
Though, to be fair, it reminds me of MMOs in their early days.
Sure.
So, because you're like, oh, I like this MMO because it does this, but I don't like this stuff. You know.
Yeah, now they're all standardized and everything feels the fucking same.
Right. So it just kind of feels like that again.
The only difference, though, is this is taking after that, and MMOs were like a new frontier. So there's still an excitement of like, holy shit, are you telling me there's a fucking world I can go experience with my friends and have my own adventure and stuff? Whereas, you know, when you play The Division, when you play Destiny, when you play Anthem, you're not really having your adventure. You're going through the storyline and getting that fucking sweet loot at the end.
Exactly.
So there's less aspect of like the frontier, the new frontier. So, but yeah, Division 2, it's cool. Another game I picked up, My Time in Portia. A couple of you probably know what this is. It's pretty much it's a Chinese made game, but it's really popular on Steam. It's like front page of top sellers typically on there. It is a 3D, very cartoony looking, like Stardew Valley type game. There's actually a bunch of them out now. I was looking at a list of like the top 10, and there's like Graveyard Keeper,
that's a big one.
Stardew Valley. There's like 8 that look exactly like Stardew Valley. And then there's My Time at Portia, which is, like I said, it's 3D, so you're running around a 3D world. It's interesting because it takes place in a post-apocalyptic world, but it's like super bright and like cartoony and charming. And it's got like happy music. It just takes place in a world after the world ended, essentially. So all the buildings look kind of like steampunkish and like looks like, you know, the world has been rebuilt after the end of the world. It's really weird, but it's like happy. It's really weird. But it does it. When I play it, it's hard to stop playing. It does the same thing Stardew Valley does for me. Like, it's hard for me to go, I'm really excited to play that. But once I start playing it, I'm like, I got this thing to do, and I got this thing to do, and I got this person I got to talk to, and I'm going to build up this relationship, and this guy needs a bridge built, so I'm going to go build that, and all sorts of shit.
Piece of candy. Ooh, piece of candy.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the whole experience. So if you like those kind of games, you're probably already playing this, because every time I bring it up, people are like, oh, yeah, I'm playing that. So, So I would recommend it. I mean, I'm not the biggest Stardew Valley type dude. I like it. I'd actually like to play it again with you guys. But after I played, I was like, I wonder what other games are doing this and maybe doing it in different ways. And I tried a demo of that, and I liked it. So I'm pretty sure both of you would like this game.
Well, I'm sure I would.
Yeah.
Just like when Josh was originally
money.
telling me, and then you started telling me about the graveyard one. I was like, it sounds like something I'd probably play.
I wanted to pick that up too, but then people were saying like mid to end game gets really grindy, which I don't care when I hear that. And Josh was telling me, he's like, yeah, I get what they're saying, but it's not that bad. And he started explaining it to me. I don't remember what he said. I'm sorry, Josh. But when he was explaining to me, I remember going like, oh, that's not that bad. That's not that, like, oh yeah, you got to, I remember, you got to get all like to progress to use certain things, you have to start finding small individual things to build up that one thing as components, and it just takes longer. So, but if you're playing a game like that anyway, like fucking, that's what you're there for.
I'm probably the wrong person to use that as a complaint.
Yeah,
I'm playing Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah, you'll swing a stick at a wall as long as you're getting something for it. I mean, when we played Minecraft, you were just in like underground the whole time, just digging a tunnel for miles.
Straight line.
And then you'd like be dropping off the resources in a box, and I would just come down fucking with my grubby hands and take all the resources and go build fucking Rome. While you're just down slaving away in the coal mine.
Yeah.
Goddamn mines of Moria.
Pretty much. Yeah, I'd look like pull up my binoculars and look down the dark fucking path and passage, and they just show you down there like ting, 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 ting. Just the candlelight.
It got to the point though where like
Torchlight.
it wasn't worth running back anymore, so we had to build a minecart system in there too, so I could just push a minecart to the fucking entrance.
Yeah.
So if someone says something about grinding, you're fine with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, my time in Portia. Check it out if you're curious, and I'm pretty sure most people would like that game. Wargroove, which came out,
I gotta buy that one.
takes after Advanced Wars. It's very cool. It has a lot of tools to make your own maps and your own stories. You can actually use the sprites in animations and put their faces up and put text in to make your own stories and put them up for people to download. It has online versus against other people. I think there's a way to do co-op as well. I'm not sure. I guess you can make a co-op scenario maybe. And then you can also have multiple games at once going, and anytime someone makes a move, it'll send you a message telling you that they made a move, and you can go in and just kind of make a move on each game if you wanted to, or play one and then go back to another one. So kind of like texting each other, you can have a game.
That harkens back to email chess.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of neat, though. If you're like a junkie and you want to go against a bunch of people, you can kind of do that. You can be that Bobby Fischer fucking playing everyone fucking chess. Ting, 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 ting.
It's neat to even add that. It's completely unnecessary.
There's a bunch of stuff in the game. I was like, you don't have to do that because the game's really fun. It's challenging too. I'm like on, I don't know, like the 8th level of the game, and it's already ramped up quite a bit from the beginning. And every single level so far has introduced something new, some new unit to use. So there's a lot to it. I really enjoy it. There's a big emphasis on taking buildings, fortifying them, and then the enemy tries to take them. So there's a lot more going on the battlefield than just killing each other. If I didn't explain it, maybe you don't know what Advanced Wars is. It's a top-down tactical turn-based game. You have units. You have to create more units, tell them where to go, and essentially either defeat their general or defeat their building that produces all of their units. So it's very cool, though. If you like those games at all, it's a must-own.
Fire Emblem, Final Fantasy Tactics, yada yada yada. It's not exactly like those, but
yeah.
same
But
genre.
if you like those games, I'm not even going to tell you like you should check it out. You should just go buy it. You're going to like it. It's really fucking good, and I love the art style, and I love that one of the generals is a fucking dog, and not even in like a. It's so like the internet. Like he's just a good boy. He shows, like, I was reading his bio, and it's like, oh, I think his name's Caesar or something like that. And every time he's in a cutscene, he like shows up, he's just like really regal and sitting there like all proud and stuff. And then I was reading it, and it's like, said that when he shows up on the battlefield, people's morale goes up and they fight even harder knowing that Caesar's on the battlefield. And there's a mission, a side quest, where Caesar's just out in the woods, and he's like sniffing around. He looks over, and there's these people kidnapping this chick. And the dog starts growling at him. And the guy's like, he's like, yeah, your dog. And the dog starts barking. And then the guy's like, I'm not afraid of you, dog. And the guy behind him's like, I am. And the other guy's like, I'm afraid too. And he's like, shut up and grab the chick. And they grab her and they run away. And then these guys run up and they're like, what's wrong, Caesar? And the dog like starts barking and they run. And then like when the match starts, he has a squad with him, and it's the dog as a unit. He's the general unit. And they're like, where'd they go, Caesar? And they're like, Caesar's the best. He's going to take care of this. And like, and then like you start like controlling the units, and the whole time they're like, isn't it true that when Caesar finds new people, their morale's boosted and they'll fight for him? And they're like, yeah, it is. And they're all like smiling and their cheeks are rosy when they're talking about Caesar. And it just shows Caesar sitting there. And like in the mission, you're like opening up, you're finding all these people who have been imprisoned, and every time you open a jail cell, like there'll be 4 people in there, and they're like, they're ready to fight for Caesar, and they all fucking turn into units. And then he has a morale booster where oh god, he has a morale booster that allows everyone to have a second turn. per turn, which is fucked up. So yeah, he's pretty funny. And then when he attacks in his combat animation, he has a bunch of them, but it's always these. He always runs in, and these guys run past him with crossbows, and they point at the enemy. And he's just in the background doing a bunch of weird shit while they shoot at the enemy. Like one, he just gets on the ground, starts rolling around. And there's another one where he's like licking himself, and like other ones where he's chasing his tail and stuff like that.
Not fighting.
Yeah, they're just fighting for him. Like that's the whole thing. So anyway, I just talked about that forever, but that's kind of where you're going when you play Wargroove. It's got a storyline, it's interesting, but there's also a lot of charm to it, which is really cool. And yeah, it's awesome. So if you like turn-based tactical games, fucking. It's right up your alley, unless you just really hate dogs, which it doesn't exist.
Fish, right?
Yeah, yeah. And what else they do? Stardew Valley?
No. Oh, they helped with
Yeah.
Stardew Valley. Drawing a blank.
The space game.
Yeah.
Like Terraria.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what we're talking about. Speaking of companies that worked on other things, another game I've played by the dudes who made This War of Mine, which is a game I really liked a lot. Frostpunk, which I got to this game. I got to this game late, but it got a bunch of great reviews when it came out, and it's fucking awesome. It takes place when essentially the world becomes like less inhabitable, so people like move north and try and build generators, like the last city on Earth, and you're essentially controlling that. So there's a giant generator in the center, and you build off the generator in a circular pattern, and you put different types of buildings. And as your city grows, you have to get more power to the generator to produce heat, because the cold will kill everybody. And you're sending people like units out into the snow to collect stuff. And I'm sure there's other things that happen later. I've barely played the game, but it's got a really cool tone, really cool idea, and it looks fucking great. Like, it's cool to see the guys who did This War of Mine, which I like the visual style of it, but it looked like an indie game, make a game that doesn't look like an indie game at all. It looks fucking fantastic. I can't wait to play that more. I just haven't had time, because as soon as I started playing, I was like, oh no, this is one of those games that I'm going to be sitting here playing. Yeah. But it's very cool, and it's very cool to see them make that. I'm also glad that it got. I played it, and it is great, but I'm glad that it got good reception, because those guys have ideas and really cool stuff that they make. So, although it seems there seems to be a pattern with them making survival games.
Yeah, they're like bleak stuff.
Yeah, they're both super bleak. One's like the war happened, everyone's starving and dying, and children are going hungry, and you got to survive until people come and save you. And then this is like, the world's over, you're the last city. Fucking make it work.
You're starving to die, and wait till somebody comes and saves you.
Yeah, yeah. Which is right in my alley. That's exactly what I love. So that's all shit that I just love.
Till it was happening to us.
You heard it here first. Seth loves children starving.
Yeah. I'm not gonna. I don't know about that one. Until it happened to us, yeah, you're right. Except for I kind of miss it. So when I'm not going through it, I'm like, those were the good days. Shout out to Keith, bought me Ori and the Blind Forest for my birthday, so thank you, Keith. And I've played that a little bit, and it is fucking phenomenal. I need to sit down and actually play it further, but the animation style, it does not. Pictures and video doesn't do it justice. You got to see it like at full frames per second. It's full fidelity. It's a gorgeous looking game. In the first like 10 minutes, I wanted to cry. It was sad as shit. Like, it was like really nice and whimsical, and then it just got real sad. And I was like, "What are you doing? This is so sad." The music's fucking beautiful. So I was like, Keith's been telling me forever. He's like, "You're gonna like this game. You're gonna like this game. I know you're gonna like this." He's like, "Seth, I've known you for over a year now. I know what you like." And I'm like, "Well, at least somebody's been paying attention." Fucking, and I started playing them, and I got a similar thing to, like, not in quality and caliber, I don't know yet, but I got a similar thing. Like when I played The Last of Us for the first time, like 5 minutes into it, I was like, this is one of my favorite games ever made. I can already tell. Playing Ori, I was like, I'm really gonna like this game, 100%. I already know. It's got that tone. It's got really cool art direction. Everything about it is just phenomenal. So it just sucks it took me this long to play it, but I am playing it among 10 other games. But it's very cool. I can't wait to play it further, and I think everybody should try it. It only came out on Xbox and PC, so you got to play it on one of those two things.
No.
But no, and there's a sequel coming out, which I'm glad to see, because I never played it. I didn't hear a whole lot of people talk about it, aside from, if you hear about the game, people only have good things to say about it, which is always a good thing. But I'm glad it merited a a sequel because what they achieved with that game, the next one can only be better looking in every way. So it's very cool. I also bought and played Moonlighter, which is a roguelike meets store simulator.
Yeah.
Retail simulator.
Yeah, if you ever played and I'm probably butchering the name. I'm pretty sure it's Racketeer though.
Don't try it. It probably. It sounds like something I'd have to do.
But it's that indie game where you run a shop and then you go into dungeons and get stuff.
Yeah. Which I should probably check out. But it's funny. I'm not a big roguelike guy. A lot of people are like, I don't like battle royals. And I'm like, or, stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not really big on MOBAs. I'm not really big on roguelikes. But like recently, roguelikes have evolved to a place where I am starting to like almost every single one I'm playing. So with all these genres, always give it time. But because I love Rogue Legacy. That was my original favorite roguelike. It had a cool aesthetic to it. I liked the legacy of when you die and come back, and then there's progression. And then Dead Cells. If you didn't play Dead Cells, that game is fucking awesome. It's a must play in my opinion. And then Moonlighter. Essentially, you are a dude who's running a shop, and you go into dungeons and you try and go as far as you can, and you can leave at any time at the cost of money. So you got to kind of think, economics when it comes to going to the dungeon, grabbing stuff, and then spending money to leave the dungeon. And then you can either use the items you get to craft new things, or you can sell them in your shop. As you progress through the game, you can upgrade your shop, make it bigger, better, add things to it to give perks to the shop. I have a perk right now that makes people want to tip 10% more every time they buy something. You set the prices and you pay attention to the customers and how they perceive it. If they get angry and don't want to buy it, you're going to want to adjust your prices, which is kind of cool. It's almost like its own metagame. Like that could be its own game, and the roguelike could be its own game. In fact, the store aspect is more robust than the dungeon part of the game. It's really addictive. I really enjoy the game. I get pretty much everything I want out of a game like that. I get the roguelike, the dungeon crawling. I get the progression of better armors and weapons as I go. There's potions and buffs and stuff you can create, but then also upgrading your shop and having a tonally different experience of running a store adds so much flavor to this game that there's not a whole lot of reason to leave the game because you're doing so many different things that kind of keeps you busy. I really like it, and I want to keep playing it.
Also has a pretty interesting system where certain items you pick up in the dungeon can only fit in certain parts of your backpack as well. So you have to like almost play this weird like Tetris meta game as well.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, so some of them will only work if it's in the bottom right square of your backpack. And so it has to be there, or else it'll get destroyed when you try to leave the dungeon. Or like it can't be next to this other type of item. So you have.
I've had some items that they have to be in a specific spot, but I didn't notice any that were like positional. I just noticed that they couldn't be in my inventory. Which only things in your inventory will stay on you if you die. Your backpack gets emptied if you die.
Yeah, it starts. Yeah, like must be on the left, must be on the right, must be in the bottom, must be in the center. Can't be next to this type of item.
Yeah,
type thing. So that's just getting more complicated too.
That game and Dead Cells though are games that I can just play for infinity. Like if I sit down and play them, I'm set. Especially if I throw on like a podcast, I'm not moving. I just play that forever. It's like, a little bit of progress here, a little bit of progress there. Oh, I died. Okay, this is challenge. I finally beat that. A little bit of progress, a little bit of progress.
Yep,
it's perfect. That's how I like to spend my days, my end days. I'm getting old. It's all ending.
Okay. The youngest one here.
So they say.
Calm down there, Grandpa. Calm down.
Grandpa Seth. Resident Evil 2. Yeah. Just real quick, that game's fucking phenomenal. If you like Resident Evil and you miss the old Resident Evils, but like how the newer ones play, they fucking nailed it. Resident Evil 2 Remake is one of my favorite survival horror games ever made. It's really good, really good. They just added, though, the free DLC of 3 of the people, I forgot what it's called, Ghost Survivors, something like that?
Something like that.
Yes.
Something like that. And they're not as robust as I thought they would be. But they're not. It's interesting. So originally they're like, it's going to tell the tale of 3 people who didn't make it out of Raccoon City, and they all coincide with the story of the game, which is kind of cool. So it just adds more lore. But they don't really have cutscenes, which is fine. But they have like these little like excerpts of like dialogue you read real quick, explaining the situation. and why they're even involved in the situation. And then you play what I can only attribute to being like a time trial. Like you start out at a set point, and then once you get to the end point, but there's like a challenge to it. Like one of them, there's poison zombies. Every time they bite you, they poison you further. And there's like a part where like if you shoot an exploding zombie, you'll get him out of the way, but it also releases a liquor. So, and you're trying to get through the level as quick as you can, because every time you beat it, it saves your time. To improve and improve and improve.
That reminds me of the Final Fantasy 15 DLCs.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
And then when you beat it, what is kind of neat is you can unlock new stuff to put into your gear to start again. So there's some longevity to repeat it. So you'll get better times as you get better gear to put into your inventory. So it's actually kind of smart. It's also neat to see some of the characters that they put into the game in a full character model that you can play, because that game and Resident Evil 7 are fucking beautiful looking games. That engine, I can't wait to see whatever the fuck they make with that new RE engine. It's an awesome engine. Like I haven't been this excited about an engine since Frostbite came out. So it's really good. It's really modular. They do a lot of stuff in that game that you don't know what to expect in that game, because they're able to do so much with that engine that they can make really cool experiences. So it's just cool to see other character models in that engine. They look fucking fantastic. But yeah, it's neat. I haven't played the Hunk one or the guy who's part of that squad yet, but I played the dad, whatever Kendo, the guy who owns the gun shop. And I also played I think Mayor's daughter, yeah. Which her whole situation's fucking creepy. And the zombies you have to fight in that are fucking, I hate them. They don't die. Like, I don't know how to fucking, they just keep coming at you forever. But yeah, I really want to play that and beat it again with Claire. I'm on my second run now. So 2 more games to talk about. Yeah. 2 more games to talk about, because this episode is just gonna be me talking about games I played. Far Cry New Dawn, which I'll keep that short. So everybody knows Far Cry 5 came out. I was talking with Wade and Almixai about that, and they're both also huge fans of Far Cry. We were all kind of agreeing that people who say they don't want more Far Cry just don't appreciate Far Cry. Like, they don't need like a new one every year, but we only get like a sequel every couple years. We get these weird expansion things in between, and they're just fun and zany and weird. But we're talking about, you know, how good they are, and Far Cry 5 is fantastic. I fucking love that game. They made this, and it's actually a sequel. They spoiled the shit out of it in the advertising, but they kind of have to. But I'm not going to get into that. But it's a sequel to 5 loosely. It really kind of dilutes all the things they built up in 5, which is slightly disappointing. But in place of that, it's a really fun sandbox that just does whatever the fuck it wants to be fun. I want to play with somebody really bad because it seems like it'd be a really fun game to play with people. It's set in a post-apocalyptic future, so there's like you're finding stuff to craft items with. You're making like saw launchers and shit. And some people don't like this. I like it. They took the old map from 5 and they used it again. But they didn't just use it again and put a new coat of paint on it. Like I watched a video where they do a side-by-side comparison, and like even most of the houses and all the buildings that existed in 5 are all gone because nukes went off and fucking most of them got destroyed. There's whole forests that are just gone now. And they even put the detail of like the amount of dirt in the areas have changed, and all the roads are pretty much like old, brittle. Maybe there's cement there, but it's mostly dirt. And all the buildings that are like still exist, the wood is like rotted and the texture is completely different. So they put a lot of work into reskinning it and changing the terrain. Most of the time, I don't know where the fuck I'm at unless I look at the map. So it does not look like 5 at all. The villains in it are pretty boring, and from reviews I think they stay boring because people are like they're pretty one-dimensional, which really sucks because Far Cry's big things, its villains are always really good, and Joseph Seed was fucking awesome. But yeah, the game's really fun. I want to play it further. It feels like it's experimenting with stealing people from Bethesda though, because it's a post-apocalyptic game and they added health bars above enemies. They added color tiers to items, and they added difficulty ratings to regions, missions, and enemies. So it feels slightly like an RPG. and there's perks to like open up safes around the map and all sorts of stuff. A lot of more exploration. 5 had plenty of exploration, but it's more like hunting and fishing and stuff like that. This feels more like scavenging, which is interesting. With a bunch of marauders, you can. This is actually kind of interesting. You can take outposts like most Ubisoft games, but you can salvage outposts. So essentially, you abandon them, but you gain a resource that you need to upgrade your main base. Okay. When you abandon or salvage an outpost, the enemy will take it back, but they'll become stronger. So you're sacrificing that outpost and being able to fast travel there and use it as a base for more resources. So there's a lot of interesting little systems they added to it. But yeah, it's interesting. Also, you, when I brought up the new systems, you brought up Fallout a little bit, and then Josh texted me, and he was like, "This game's better than fucking any Fallout, like has been pretty much, or like the last couple Fallouts, something like that." So it's funny that a lot of people are attributing this to a Fallout replacement. So I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was. And also, this isn't a hard Far Cry. It's not Far Cry 6, so they can experiment with it and see if people like it or not. So I'm mixed on it. I think it's a neat direction, but I really do not want to see Far Cry 6 like this. But
I really doubt it would be.
Yeah. Well, I hope so, because I like the more realistic shooting with some zany thematic stuff in it. But Far Cry's always been very like, you shoot someone in the head, you kill them. You shoot someone in the body a couple times, they're done. You get shot a couple times, you're dead unless you're wearing armor. It's more stealth based, more tactical based. That's the thing that Far Cry's always been really known for is becoming primal and fucking like, running through the woods and sneaking around and taking people out with bows and arrows and shit and just unloading on people. So, yeah, it's cool. If you like Far Cry, definitely check it out. And if you like post-apocalyptic games, I would say definitely check it out. Also, it has co-op, so you can play with a friend. And the last couple Far Cries have all played really well with other people. So they seem to get better and better and better with what you can do in co-op. So last thing I have played is more so a bit of a warning. I want to elaborate on this a little bit. So I'm a huge fan of the Metro series, like huge. I love the last 2 Metro games. I think they're fucking fantastic. I think everybody should play them. They're so underrated, it's stupid. I want this franchise to become mainstream as fuck. But Metro Exodus is out, and I'm happy to say it looks amazing, plays great. It maintains everything that I love about Metro, and it is taking the story in a direction that I think is really fucking interesting. Only problem is I played it for about an hour, and it is a buggy fucking game. There's a lot of bugs in the game, and for me, I can look past it. But for anyone who's potentially new to the series, I would hate for you to play this game and go, these games fucking suck. Because the last 2 games aren't like that. So I'm telling people, I've already had a couple people ask me, like, oh, what do you think? And I'm like, wait for a patch. Don't pick it up yet. Which sucks to say, because I want to go, yeah, dude, buy it. But I don't want that to hurt anybody's opinion of the game.
Right.
It's not going to hurt mine. I'm obsessed with the series. I love it. So I'm just like, whatever. But like, there's a couple times where, like, for instance, I was looking in a doorway, and where a guy could be taking cover on the left side of the door, I saw like a blur, and the guy went, boom, and he's just there. And he started like shooting around at me and shit. And I was like, that pathing was weird. I saw another character who couldn't figure out where to run, and then another guy who was in a cover loop. He kept going into cover over and over again, and I'd shoot him, and he would just take damage, and then finally he started shooting back at me. So it seems like it's mostly, and then I also saw like a rat run through a wall, which isn't a big deal, but those games are really known for their fucking details and quality. So when I saw that, I was like, did they rush the game? I really hope they didn't. But like the set pieces are amazing. So I don't think they did. I just think they fucked up something in the coding. So hopefully they can figure that out and patch it. Because the game also already got some bad PR because of the whole like, oh, stop bitching about our game. We won't release it on PC. And then the parent company's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that was the switch from Steam to Epic Game Launcher,
which wasn't that big a deal, but some people were pissed about it. But this on top of that, I'd hate to see a snowball effect, especially nowadays.
For sure,
everything gets fucking crazy real quick. So anyway, it's Metro. If you like Metro or you're curious about Metro, pick it up. You're gonna love it, but just be wary that there are bugs in it that I hope they fix. I don't know if they will. I hope they do, and hopefully you can look past it. But otherwise, I can't wait to play it because. A couple of reviews now are saying that it's the best Metro, and if that's what they're saying, and if that's true, that's gonna blow my mind because I love the last 2. So if it's better than those, holy shit, and it should be because it's new. But Some people were saying that they're upset though because like some of the open areas feel linear. And I'm like, good. Those games are so story heavy. Like the more open you get, the further away you get from like storytelling visually. It gets harder in an open world to do storytelling really well.
It's really funny too because we've talked about that aspect before, even when talking about like all the different Final Fantasy games and like talking about Final Fantasy 15 specifically.
When it gets linear, it gets
so
good.
Much freedom, but there's no Final Fantasy happening.
Yeah, it's fun.
Once it starts getting linear, all of a sudden you're like, this is what I was waiting for.
Yeah,
the story's there.
I was playing 15. I was like, this is a really fun game, but like Final Fantasy, like it's just it's a boy band fucking driving around the desert.
Yeah.
Other than that, though, it's fun. Like I was having a blast playing it, but then once you get away from that open part and you start doing more like linear stuff, it's all of a sudden super story heavy, and it's a really good story. And I was like, see, it's fucking hard to do that, man. And I in my brain I could sit here and just dissect all the reasons why that would be, but because it just makes sense to me. But same thing happened with Metal Gear Solid 5. It was fucking awesome to play.
The best it has played.
For sure.
Yeah.
It still felt stealthy, but played really well. It gave you a bunch of options to do a bunch of stuff. You could really play that game the way you wanted to play it. Had a bunch of cool features, but the story was like barely existent and was not visually portrayed. Not only on par with a Metal Gear Solid, which for me, storytelling Metal Gear Solid is fucking amazing. It's my favorite series of all time, but wasn't even as good as like a lot of games. It almost didn't exist. There was like 2 cutscenes in the whole fucking game. The beginning of that game is amazing when you're crawling around the hospital and shit. I was like, this is the best thing ever. I love this shit. And then fucking after that, it just never happens again. There's a part where you sit in the back of a Jeep with the guy and talk for a while. I was like, oh, is this going to get interesting? And then like, that's it. I'm like, all right, guess I'll go have fun. I'm not going to, no story for me, huh?
Not today.
Not today. But yeah, the more open you get with a story, it gets harder to tell a story. Or more open you get with gameplay. Shout out to Rockstar though. They're finding ways to bridge that gap a bit. Their storytelling in Grand Theft Auto 5 isn't the best thing ever, but they managed to make it pretty interesting, pretty good. And then Red Dead Redemption 2, I think they did a really good job. Outside of that gameplay that gets really repetitive, but the story was told pretty well. So they're really working hard on that front when a lot of people can't do it very well. So that's what I've been playing. That's like fucking 40 minutes of what I've been playing.
Well, you had 2 weeks to talk about as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I had a lot to say on a lot of those games. So because I'm trying out a bunch of new games and letting people know what I think of them.
Yeah.
Anything you guys want to add or say?
I own Moonlighter and should probably play it more. And then
It needs co-op. Give me co-op on everything.
Yeah. Though I do really appreciate the way it plays. I like that kind of stuff where they mix genres. And I think it's a huge pull even for Stardew Valley is that even though it is very much inspired by Harvest Moon, it does also pull from other games. So it does make it there's always something to do in it. I guess is the best way to put that. So and Moonlighter has a similar feel where you're always there's going to be something for you to be doing constantly.
Yeah, it's interesting because you get a little further into the game, and you were telling me you haven't gotten to this yet, but when your store, I think it's probably when you upgrade it for the first time, but when I upgraded my store, after that I started getting shoplifters.
Yeah,
and like this dude who looked like a rogue came in, his face was like masked, and he just came in like really shifty eyed, and he just walked around looking at the items, and all of a sudden he grabbed one and started running to the door, but he's not moving very fast. He's just like cruising towards the door, and it's like right above him there's like an L1 button, and I ran over to him and I fucking hit it, and it shows a bunch of like dust and shit kicked up, and you hear whoosh, and then he comes running out of it, just leaves the store, and you got your item. And I was like, that dickhead.
Yeah,
I had 2 different guys come in. Huh?
Cut off his hand.
Damn. All right, almighty ruler. All right, Sultan.
You have to start with a pinky.
No, the hand.
He'll never do it again if you just take the hand.
Right. Take his
He
dominant
won't be
hand.
doing a lot of things again if you take the hand.
Once he comes in and fucking balances it, he spins it on a stump like those Globetrotter guys.
If you can sneak that up and spin on a stump, take it. Man, you deserve it.
Yeah, he deserves it, yeah. Or if he hacky sacks it out the door. This is mine, punk. Get away from me, Grandpa.
Some Morning Star outside the door, take it, man. You deserve it.
There's also another, there's like this like dumb looking kid who comes in who has snot coming out of his nose. And he just comes wandering in and just looks at all the stuff, and he just grabbed one and started walking out, and I beat his ass too. So, yeah.
Cut his hand off too.
The kid?
No mercy.
Were they the enemy?
If they're stealing your shit, yeah, they're the enemy.
The enemy has invaded us. Take their hands. Yeah, let us know in the comments. Huh?
Let this be a warning.
The final warning. Just take their head. Fuck it. Oh, that's too much?
I need you to calm down there.
Okay. Let us know in the comments, what games have you been playing? Have you played any of the games we've mentioned? What do you think of those? What do you think of the games you're playing? Let us know what you've been playing. Have you played Apex Legends yet? What's your opinion on that? And yeah, let me know everything you're thinking about and what you've been playing in the last week or two. Let's catch up. Yeah, so we have 3 videos we're going to watch. This week is it was kind of slim pickings because we already covered the big thing, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Make sure to watch that episode. But we have 3 things we're going to watch. So one thing we're going to watch is Battlerite Royale, which is free to play, which is interesting to see. Because Battlerite is a top-down MOBA-esque arena fighter game.
So it's essentially, it's an arena game with MOBA-esque combat.
It plays like a MOBA, yeah, but it's in an arena, and it was kind of fun. You paid money for it though, which is interesting. And now they're making Battlerite Royale, which if you haven't been around for a while, it's Battle Royale game. So, which I know a lot of you just love those. But
Chasing the money.
But this one will be they're all starting to get interesting now. We have Tetris, which is a Battle Royale now, 99. We have Apex Legends, which is a brand new Battle Royale. And then we have Battlerite Royale, which is a top-down Battle Royale. It's going to have a circle that moves in, and you're going to fight people like you would in a MOBA. So, yeah, we'll watch that real quick and move into the next couple things. You ready, Chris?
Yeah.
Do you guys... I'm trying to be balanced in what we watch. Can't always be the things we all love. In fact... all 3 of these things I'm not super stoked about, to be honest. Do you guys have any opinions on the idea of a battle royal before we get into this that's like top down?
No, I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other, to be honest. I've said it a couple times, and obviously if this is your first episode, I'm not on the train of hating them. They're the popular thing right now. There's going to be a lot of them, and they'll go away. They still make other games. There's other stuff to play. So
most games are not battle royal games.
Yeah, and even if a bunch of people do make them, one person might make the one that works for you. So,
as we've seen with Apex Legends with some people that I know personally who don't like battle royale games at all. So
that's pretty much all I have on
my only thing I have to add to this before we watch this, before I see what it looks like, and I already know what Battlerite looks like, is I'm all for people changing it up and seeing what they do with it. So, top-down battle royal, I'm the battle royal part I'm not stoked about because it's just another battle royal. But what are they going to bring to it? And can a top-down game add something to that otherwise you're not getting in other games like that? Although we are getting to a point where I think you have to, if you're going to make a battle royal game, you have to make other game modes because people are going to get burnt out on the concept of battle royals
quickly.
I mean, the thing with Apex is it just plays fucking great. It's awesome and it's fair and it's battle royal aspects, but it's the gameplay that people really fucking dig. People aren't really playing it because it's a battle royal. Like I'm sure some of them are, but people are talking about just the guns and all that shit. So
right.
And some battle royal that's out right now? They're adding H1Z1. They're adding a deathmatch mode soon. So obviously, I think they're seeing that they need to do something else because people are going to get tired of the circle shrinking over and over again. Mm-hmm. So, which is, it's fair. People are going to get tired of anything they do over and over again. But Battlerite plays really well. I actually really enjoyed the way it played. So, it has that. It already plays well. I enjoy playing it. So, it'll be interesting to see with the new rule sets. Chris, I'm assuming
Oh boy, another battle royale game.
Oh yeah. You ready?
Yep.
All right. 3, 2, 1, and go. See, drop in like every battle royale ever.
This is gonna be a blast.
The visual style of the game always reminds me of Torchlight.
Yeah. they just kept their combat system. It's probably how do I want to get this more affordable for them to create?
Well, if people fucking pay for it, because it's free to play. People got to give them money otherwise.
Yeah,
in a different way. But it's smart too because you're gonna get more people to touch the game if it's free. So.
for sure.
I really like the way Battlerite played. I think it was a really well played game. So I will be curious to try this. But again, not for the Battle Royale aspect, just because I liked Battlerite. Another thing too about Battlerite when I played it is it wasn't done. So I was waiting for what it was going to be, essentially.
Reminds me of
Best time of day.
okay. Yeah.
Damn.
Quite the trap.
Get got, bitch.
It reminds me of Tribes, the last one that came out, and how they just kind of went, we're done supporting this now, and they moved on to something else. So
Yeah, I don't know if they did stop supporting Battlerite or if they ever supported in the first place. But yeah, I mean, there's potential for it to be that.
yeah.
That is the problem with people chasing the Battle Royale train is they abandon everything else because they're trying to make money. I mean, like it is what it is. Huh?
Fortnite.
They spent so much money to make sense to do anything else.
I know. It just sucks. Anyways, it looks all right.
Yeah. I'm on the same page.
I was just kind of starting to get warmed up to a MOBA, so like I'm not opposed to that gameplay type anymore. As I still wouldn't play it like in a competitive sense, but I do appreciate that they, in the case of like Heroes of Storm is the one I'm talking about, they do give you a pretty good option to play it offline and with friends. Obviously, this is a battle royal game, so it's not going to have that. But play wise, since I'm more used to that style of gameplay at this point, I might be a little more interested to play it. Plus, I think it'd be a little less anxiety inducing since it's over the top.
Well, that's one thing that I find interesting, and I'm waiting for more people to explore it if we're going to keep exploring battle royals, is different types of games in a battle royale setting. Because, like, not everybody's into shooting at people or has the reflexes or wants to have the reflexes or the competitive nature of trying to get those headshots and get good at dodging bullets and shit. But other people might be more inclined to play, like, a melee game or a brawler game or a MOBA or Tetris. I mean, like, we're getting to an area where the core concept of eliminating other people and being the final person on top can translate to other genres, and that's interesting to me because people are gonna make bad ones and some people are gonna make good ones, and we are getting new ideas evolving over time as a genre that's really popular gets tired. So that's one reason why I'm curious on how this plays, and the people it might pull in who otherwise are like, I'm not into guns, I'm not really into shooting people, I don't want to be a fucking sniper, I don't want to run and gun
For sure.
but clicking and doing my macro moves and shit, it's completely different feeling.
So the only thing is concerning to me about this game, it's great that they're trying something new and switching things up, and it's great that because it always breeds creativity in their world. It's great. But if I recall, this game is more MOBA-esque, where characters have strengths and weaknesses, and that doesn't really lend itself too well to battle royale modes. It becomes this really big imbalance of either you're just at a super disadvantage for picking a character you like the way they look and some of their moves against other characters, or everybody just ends up picking the same character and it just becomes a very bland feeling. Like everybody's going to pick the super long range sniper person who does a lot of damage really quickly.
Well, not if it limits how many people you can pick per team.
Sure. It worries me about that because battle royales are usually based upon like the gear you can get and, like the guns you can get within the map, and not necessarily like the character's bonus abilities and stats. Like those don't, from my experience of battle royales, I haven't played a lot of them, so I can't speak with super, authenticity here. But they're usually the characters themselves are just kind of like pallets to hold your weapons and channel your skills through. Whereas characters in MOBAs, you have all these abilities that can counterplay other characters and certain play styles. And like some characters are better at taking out tank characters, while tank characters are better at taking out like surviving the damage of this, but they don't necessarily do a lot of damage. It doesn't really lend itself too well in a battle royale mode in my mind.
I have two arguments for you.
Yeah.
One, Apex Legend is a hero-based, class-based,
Pros and cons.
on battle royal,
Yeah.
and you're not really running into that with that so much.
Yeah. Well, and Realm Royale does that too.
And then the other thing I was going to bring up is just because it plays like a MOBA doesn't mean it has the same rule structure as a MOBA.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean the characters are going to have stat builds and stuff like that. They may just have this character has these abilities and whatnot. And like I said, they limit the amount of picks there are, though, with depending on how many players they allow into a map, may also change the way that works.
Yeah, I'm sure this would be team based anyway.
Yeah, and if you're going into
Might have
this
singles, I don't know.
If you're going into making a game like this, the first thing you're going to be taking into consideration when you make any competitive game is balance.
Right.
So
Yeah, otherwise you're just gonna fail on arrival.
Street Fighter would be a garbage game if it wasn't balanced. Is a good example of that. Like MOBAs struggle with that all the time, but that's only because the rosters get so big. Just like Rainbow Six. Siege has to rebalance constantly too.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of having stats in a game, but it's never broken usually.
Yeah, I think one of the evolutions of the hero shooter, and I know a lot of people are going to fall back to Overwatch, but there's a bunch of games that came before Overwatch that did unique attributes to characters. One thing that because that genre is obviously that genre kind of showed up and now it's kind of melded into other games, which I think is good. It's kind of like dubstep. It came out, it was interesting, but now it doesn't really exist. It's just in songs now. They kind of just incorporate it into it. Same thing with the hero thing. We're seeing that it's kind of added to other genres now, which I think is more where it should be placed, because adding people with their own unique abilities, you can take any genre of, like, you take a shooter and you level up, you upgrade your weapons, you upgrade your perks, which already was interesting enough to change up the genre there where you're just shooting each other. And now you add people with their abilities and different things they can do and things they're good against and weak against. And now you're adding just another layer on top of the shooter that now makes every encounter different based off of who you're against and who you're playing. Same thing with battle royals. I mean, like, if you're running around in a field and you're killing the same people with the same guns over and over again versus you run into a group of people and they got this guy, and this chick versus your chick, and this dude, that scenario is going to play out completely different than if it was just based off the items. So it adds a whole new layer of coming back and doing the same mode over and over again and adding new variables to it. I understand your concerns because it's kind of the Wild West right now when it comes to what can work in a battle royale.
Yeah.
But I think you can do it 100%. I can already see it in my head working. But will they? I don't know.
If they do it in teams, I don't see a problem with it.
It'd have to be. It'd be too hard to do singles.
But the video showed mostly like single player against single player. It's just to highlight things. But
I think it was just showing someone playing from their perspective.
People dueling.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the part that concerned me, that because if it's just everybody versus everybody, it's not going to work.
Well, and we're seeing people get away from the high number battle royale, which I remember when we started getting things under 100, there's a lot of people saying you can't do battle royale with less than 100. And I never understood why anyone even thought that, outside of just seeing a standard going at that's how they do it, because the number never mattered. That was just change. That was the exciting factor of playing a shooter, is going, holy shit, there's 99 other people. This is crazy. It makes it feel big and grand. But when you start making it more of an interesting game itself, and the features and the characters and the weapons really speak for themselves more than the can I survive 99 other people aspect, you start getting away from that number really mattering. I mean, like, I've played battle royales that have 20 people on the map and it still feels the exact fucking same. I actually like it more because it adds more intimacy to it. You remember names. You run into encounters that feel more important than, well, I got killed by the 89th person. So
also who has an hour all the time to sit down? You know what I mean?
Yeah, those can last a long time.
Yeah. Versus, I mean, that's another problem. That's a big problem with even MOBAs as well. Like, you can have a MOBA match last like 5 minutes, but like when everyone knows what they're doing, it's closer to an hour.
Yeah. So this, I would highly doubt they're going to go 99 with. They'll probably do like 20 to 40 at the most. I'm pretty sure they'll probably do a game like that. I feel like if you had 20 people on the map and you were doing singles, I think it could work. If you had like 40 and up, I think it'd be very hard to play that game.
Quite honestly, it's just at that point you're almost making just MMO PvP anyways.
Pretty much, but that's what those games are pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just
like
literally
with hero shooters
going
and shit.
closer to the MMO part than the Battle Royale
Yeah.
part at that.
Which
at
is
that
fine,
point.
'cause there's
It's
people who
totally
love that
fine,
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my cup of tea in that regard, but like I won't know unless I try it, obviously. So
Yeah. We're just at the point where Battle Royale is just kind of like the foundation of a house that you're building now.
it's the flavor of the month.
Yeah. Like many things before it. Anything else you guys want to say on whatever that game was called?
Battlerite
Fucking
Royale
Battlerite Royale.
with cheese.
Yep. With the cheese. Nothing?
No.
Let us know in the comments. Did you play Battlerite? What'd you think of it? What do you think about Battlerite Royale? Are you interested in trying a Battle Royale that's not a shooter? It's free to play. So does that affect it? Would you rather buy a game and get all the content with a game like this? I know obviously a story-based game, you're not going to go, I wish they were free to play. I wish fucking every story game I've ever played was free to play. That'd be awful. But or would you prefer to buy it, get all of it, or play it for free, try it out, and then decide to give them money later if you wanted to? Let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Battlerite Royale and other Battle Royales. I was getting confused because it's called Battlerite Royale. Battle Royale, like it's just one little thing away. So I was like, am I repeating myself? People probably think I am. They're like, I don't give a fuck. You're
Stop saying it.
Stop talking about him. Next video we're gonna watch. So Crackdown 3 has finally come out, I believe.
Yeah.
It's out.
Yeah.
And it's been getting some pretty disappointing reviews. We could probably sit here and roast it all day because we've been kind of... I mean, I went from being excited for this game to feeling like I needed to be excited for this game because I want to support Xbox to going like, I don't know, man. It looks like fucking Crackdown 2. And Crackdown 2 is Crackdown 1. Only reskinned and looked worse somehow. So, out of my own curiosity, I want to hear... We're going to watch a review from IGN. I want to see what they're saying about it and really kind of discuss... You know, if it sounds that bad, if it sounds good, if it sounds interesting, if there's any merit to it, is it just something to throw away? Because we can finally fucking get some closure on this game. We've been talking about it for fucking years. We finally just go, that's it. Are we going to pick it up or not? Which I feel like we're all going to change our minds. Anything you guys want to say before we get into this?
I'm pretty sure this is the game I was very quick to tell the fuck off.
You've never been a Crackdown guy anyway,
No,
though.
I'm not a fan of the series at all, so that's not fair.
Yeah.
So no, I don't really have anything to say. I'll wait and see what they have to say. I kind of know what to expect, I think, though. So I haven't seen this.
Any thoughts? Have you guys kept track of the reviews or anything? They've been
at all.
pretty mediocre.
I mean, I heard just what was mentioned to me earlier today. So.
Yeah. Any thoughts, Chris?
Man, I enjoyed the first Crackdown, but this is all just
Man.
point.
Man.
Yeah, Crackdown was fun.
Dude.
Yeah, that's just you can't make that game again, and I think they did. I think that's what people are complaining about. It's the same game, and that game came out on the 360.
Yeah.
Early 360. So it's a old game. I mean, it was like a superhero game before everyone pretty much made those already, and now we're just used to superhero games where you jump and fly and destroy things. So many games do that, and a lot of them do it better than others. So Spider-Man is great. Yeah, let's just watch it. You ready, Chris?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, and go. They also reviewed the multiplayer and the single player separate.
Okay.
Because the multiplayer, I guess, is like just a hollow versus
Hi everyone!
mode.
Because Crackdown 3 single and multiplayer modes are so different, and because the multiplayer was barely available ahead of time, we're reviewing them separately. This review covers my thoughts on the single player campaign, but check back soon for my take on the Wrecking Zone PvP mode.
I'm glad you're digging that.
It's a really basic beat.
Like a B-action movie, Crackdown is solely concerned with trying to deliver a ham-fisted, high-octane, kaleidoscopically
neon
techno
colors.
explosion
Yeah.
fest. And just like all but the best B-action movies, it's not stylish or substantial enough to pull it off.
Looks really
Outside
basic
a few
visually.
decent bosses, most of
Yeah.
the 8 to 10 hour campaign is the same rehash lock-on shooting gallery. There's some fun toward the end, once you're effectively a superhero and springing around the bland, lifeless world like Ang Lee's Hulk. But even in co-op, it's extremely forgettable, which is a damning thing to say about a game that tries so hard to be over the top. Crackdown 3's story is never more complex than an evil megacorp is doing some bad things that you have to stop. And the way it's conveyed through animatics and comm chatter
Project
doesn't do much to
Vitalis.
sell it. And it sucks that such an entertaining personality as Terry Crews, who's used to full effect in the opening cutscene,
wearing shiny snake skin boots,
is thereafter reduced to just another skin for an agent and some canned dialogue. Likewise, though the impressive futuristic skeleton of this massive vertical city sprawls in every direction, a lack of texture and environmental detail makes it seem hollow. It's also disappointing that the ability to destroy grass you might have seen in trailers is completely absent from the single-player mode. Working my way through the interchangeably menacing lieutenants, bosses, and the big bad leader, I had a hard time caring about taking them down beyond just following the next waypoint on a world map positively cluttered with icons. Each silo of the corporation has their own science, toxic, and military-themed outposts pockmarking the city's provinces, but they all boil down to a slight variation on the same workmanlike series of tasks. Reclaim monorail stations by shooting their robot guards, destroy refineries by shooting the guards and machinery, and liberate prison camps by shooting the guards and pressing control panels. Granted, in most shooters you interact with enemy forces by, well, shooting them. But Crackdown 3 deconstructs it down to such a basic level that you could literally train a monkey to do it. Hold left trigger to auto-lock on a target. Hold right trigger to fire until it's dead or destroyed, then release left trigger and hold it again to auto-lock onto the next. There's very little meaningful variety. I soon realized that the same 3 or 4 weapons were best in almost every situation, and even enemies resistant to my current weapon.
This game was fucking delayed.
It says a lot about the lack of need for tactics.
Quite a few times, yeah.
I found near the tutorial was my go-to for the rest of the campaign. However, the climactic fights with each lieutenant, boss, and the final overseer inject some new elements into combat with encounters that presented the only real danger I ever felt on Crackdown 3's default difficulty. Since your shield and health recharge, both with time and with every enemy killed, even huge groups of enemies are survivable by just rushing in and shooting until everything is dead.
Sounds like it's anyone can just pick it up and play it
the progression,
without thinking.
Simply because finding agility orbs is as obsessively satisfying as in any other collectathon. And gathering enough to unlock moves like the triple jump and the double air dash meant I could eventually soar between skyscrapers with satisfying impunity. That means that even though Crackdown 3 gives you the keys to a transforming vehicle, driving any of the dozen or so cars always felt like the sluggish alternative to just jump dashing or fast
Yeah, I didn't like driving in the fucking
and
first
though there
one.
are stunt loops you're intended to drive
Newest
through,
Saints Row
you
game.
can easily cheese through them in
Cars are pointless.
Yeah.
On paper, Crackdown 3's
Yeah, it's like I was playing Spider-Man. I could get in a car and drive like 20 miles per hour or something. Like, why the fuck would I do it? Aside from seeing Spider-Man behind the wheel.
Spider-Van, Spider-Van.
Just honking in traffic. Come on, man.
Outside of a couple boss fights, and even though there's a compulsive
That's pretty low for
AAA. Passing off its many itemized activities, it's never any more than that. For more on Crackdown 3, check back soon for our review of the multiplayer.
All right. Well, that was depressing. I feel like we should just not have done that.
I feel like I should have been on E the whole time watching all those colors.
That beat too, dude. Bum 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 forever. Didn't know no service. It's funny because this is what I pretty much expected, but not. I figured I'd be a little wrong. Like there'd be something they go, well, this part was good, but like the whole thing, the guys was like, this was forgettable. This was boring. This game thinks it's cooler than it is. I was like, all right, take it easy. They tried.
Did they?
That guy fucking that review was so fucking savage on that fucking game. I feel like I gotta defend the developers who made it a little bit. The game looks boring as shit, but fucking goddamn it, they don't deserve that.
Yeah, and I kind of wonder with the track record of how first party development has been going with this console, if those complications in development weren't necessarily related to development as much as like Microsoft having either too many opinions to throw in there or money problems because they didn't want to pay for example, like Platinum Games' game. They were just like, development's taking too long, we're putting too much money into it. Stop. So
I fucking hope not, but I mean, the game looks the way it looks, man. Like it does not look interesting.
Well, at the very least, it's a finished full product, right? And they didn't necessarily say it's bad. They just didn't say it's not good either, though. It just exists.
It's minimal. It looks like very minimal in its gameplay.
When you say that you can train a monkey to play a game, I mean that's not
basic.
It's more than the Lego games are basic. You're not training a monkey to play those. I mean, maybe there's some pretty smart monkeys out there, but I don't know any of them.
I think the worst part for me is I love like the Tron aesthetic a lot. Like the Tron movies are great. They somehow made it boring looking.
It's generic as fuck.
I don't get it.
The whole city looks like a goddamn postmodern fucking just grayscale mess, and then they added lights to like hide it.
Yeah.
It's to distract you from the bland gameplay.
It didn't
Look at the bright, shiny colors. Don't be distracted by how the lock-on hits everything. You can survive everything. Look at the colors.
It's like they tried to hide the whole game with fucking Terry Crews coming and going, "Bah!" And fucking people are like, "Ha ha ha, that's funny." And then fucking there's like lights everywhere, and they're like, "You can double jump, you can triple jump."
An Old Spice commercial.
At the end of the game. So the beginning of the game is interesting, and the end of the game is interesting.
I don't know, man. The first Crackdown, when it first came out, the demo was 1 hour, and like you could explore the whole city. And I got so fucking good at collecting the orbs because me and Josh played it over a couple times. Well, more than a couple times because he got real good at it. But when the game came out, we had all our powers pretty much right in the beginning of the game because it's all based off the orbs you collect. So if you know where the fuck they're at, you're just like, I'm God. I'm Crackdown God. So overall, though, I think we all kind of, whether we lost hype for it or didn't have hype for it, expected it to pretty much be a generic, boring look, a seemingly game. And we can't know without playing it, but we can tell a lot from looking at it. And the reviews don't even slightly hint that that's correct. They're pretty on the nose, like, yeah, it's just a fucking 5.
It's disappointing because they really need games.
That's my thing, man. Is I was just like, Crackdown 3's got to be good. Just make it good. I don't give a fuck because I'm not a big Crackdown fan. I wasn't gonna buy it for the brand name. I was just like, just make a fucking fun game. I've thought about buying Gears of War. I'm not a big Gears of War fan, but I thought about buying the newest one just because I'm willing to expand my horizons and play some fucking exclusives on the Xbox. But they're too busy getting rid of them.
Womp womp.
Well, we'll see what their next console's like because we've
their next console will learn from this. 100%.
Yeah, I would say this is the speed bump that Sony went through last generation.
Yep. PS3 was fucking, in my opinion, one of the worst consoles ever.
That was definitely Sony.
Not like the joke bad consoles,
that speed bump,
but
and they
they learned a lot from it.
Learned a lot,
yeah.
and hopefully that's what we're gonna get with this too. I mean, I feel like they kind of
the
have
Xbox,
anyways with them buying so many companies to make games for them now.
Because they're going back to being game centric.
Yeah.
They spent 2 console cycles making gamer centric consoles, and then they got ambitious. Not their fault. I mean, it is their fault, but they got ambitious and went, let's do the Nintendo thing and make this for everybody. Yeah. Except for Nintendo's like, you like fun? We like fun too. We want your grandpa to have fun. We want your fucking 1-year-old kid to have fun. So just hand them a little thing and they can shake it and fun things happen. That's what Nintendo does. Mm-hmm. But fucking, Microsoft is like, you like football, boy? Fucking, we got football. You like cable? We got cable. You can watch TV on here.
Who likes cable?
You can do a bunch of stuff on this thing. You can also game on it. But we got all this sorts of shit. It does everything.
Yeah.
Everybody plays video games. They're like, cool, where's the games?
Yeah.
Well, we got a license with the NFL to show you some cool stuff. Okay, where's the games? On PC. Go play them over there.
I can watch football on my computer. I don't need an Xbox for that.
I'm not watching football fucking anywhere.
I'm just saying.
I play video games. I don't watch football.
I'm not in football either. I was just throwing that out there.
Chris is a huge fan.
A fan of the old footy?
Occasionally.
See?
I'm not a huge fan, but I watch it.
Oh, he loves it.
That's more than that.
I mean, you got a bunch of men in tight pants. What do you want from me, all right?
They got booties too. Every time I see the NFL, I'm like, look at all them fucking booties. There's a shitload of them. A bunch of buff dudes with big asses.
Baseball
They
pants
squat.
are God's gift to the world.
Fair.
Okay.
Yeah, this conversation went all over the fucking place.
I like Crackdown. Hello, baseball
That's
booties.
how exciting Crackdown 3 is.
This is where we got the dislikes, and then they got to this point, and people start unclicking those dislikes. Like, this is getting interesting. They're talking shit about the Xbox. Now they just completely forgot about it and traded it in for fucking dude-ass. Welcome to the channel if you're new.
Yeah, we get lost sometimes.
Yeah, that's the point of this show. Just talk about where the hell. Yeah, so pretty much all on the same page though,
Yeah.
and none of us want this game to be bad.
No.
Nobody wants anything to be bad. You know, it's just, and you know, it's fine. It's mediocre, whatever. But I'd still be. It's this shit drives me nuts too. IGN, I think it was IGN or GameSpot. I think it's GameSpot. They're like, here's how to play Crackdown 3 for $1. I'm like, why the fuck would you do that? That game needs money. Why are you trying to fucking this early tell people this game's a 5 out of 10? Here's how you can play it for fucking almost nothing. Don't give them any money. It's like, Jesus
It's on
Christ.
Game Pass, though.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're probably advertising.
Oh,
you can
probably.
get on Game Pass for $1 for some promotional thing.
You know what, though? As much as we talk shit about, you know, the state of Xbox's first-party development.
We do not talk shit about Xbox and its first-party development. We observe it and discuss it.
Okay.
We are not biased.
The Game Pass is a great system. And
Xbox has a bunch of great
and
systems.
I really hope they expand upon that more in the future, because and I'd love to see even like, because Sony has PlayStation Now, but I don't think it's as robust as
It's not even fucking close.
Yeah,
I
so-
don't fucking use PlayStation Now.
Well, and that's my whole point.
Every time I see it, I'm
know
like, I ain't
people
touching
who
that.
use the Game Pass system. I don't know anyone who uses PlayStation Now except for, I think, sorry, name dropping here, but Paul, I think, had used it a little bit.
He
So
loves it.
I don't
Name
know
drop
about-
more.
I don't know about that.
Say my name.
But yeah, so that in itself, I think is great, because then a game like this does come out. You're already paying for service. You can play it, and you get a chance to try out this game. So.
PS4, okay, so this is a weird way to put this, but PS4 is so game centric that all its other little systems, I'm like, when they like throw it out in front of me while I'm playing games, I have to slap their little fucking hands away. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm trying to play this. It's like PlayStation View. I'm like, no, get the fuck out of here. What, PlayStation Now? No. Shut up. The fuck? It's like, okay, just keep playing your game. It's like, what about this? No, go. And then every once in a while,
Over
put
on my
like a little,
PlayStation with all that shitty PlayStation stuff that it came with.
yeah.
I don't ever open it.
Yeah, and then every once in a while I'll put up like this like NBA thing on my fucking on my, I almost said desktop, but you know what I'm saying.
That MLB, I think.
Yeah, I'll just put it up there and it's like, you want to watch this? I'm like, delete this shit. Get rid of it.
You can turn that off.
Why the hell is this here? Get the fuck rid of it, Sony.
Yeah, I don't get promotions.
Just let me play the goddamn game.
dashboard anymore.
Whereas Xbox is like, you can play fucking a shitload of our games for like $10 a month, and it works great. And you're like,
That's a
wow, okay.
steal.
It's yeah, that's insane. It's. I almost get annoyed when people put too low of a price on high developed games.
Yeah.
Because I think it devalues it so much. It's great for people who can't afford it. It's awesome, but it also just allows people who are like, I'm not fucking paying full price for this garbage, and they fucking play it.
You know what, though?
Really cheap, and it's like those people spend years of their life working on that fucking game.
And I don't mind when like the game comes out at $60 and then like, you know, months down the line it drops down to 40,
Yeah,
months
that
down
makes
again
sense.
it drops down to 30.
It's made its money.
Yeah, because
Or trying to make more money.
They have made whatever their projection, or you know, hit or miss it or whatever.
Yeah.
And at that point, it's just residual income for the company.
Yeah, and that's
So-
all pricing based off reaction of,
Yeah.
of what's happened to the game.
Or Sony's system of like the game sells X amount of units, now it's the greatest hit, it's $30.
Yeah, there are certain games though that I think should never be below $20, and I think $20 is too low for them. But at that point, like when I see like The Last of Us for $5, I hate it. Like that game should never be $5 fucking dollars.
But everyone's played it.
Doesn't matter. It's not a $5 fucking game ever.
I haven't played it.
Well, you can buy it for $5 and fucking insult them. But I'm an asshole. And I'll like buy a game like twice sometimes just because I,
I mean,
like
I
it so
have two,
much.
so. I've bought Stardew Valley twice. I bought Final Fantasy 7. I don't know how many fucking times at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I just gave up on Castlevania Symphony of the Night. We know it's fantastic. We know it's the best Castlevania. We all
It's
know.
on everything.
We've all played it on everything ever. Fucking when they're like, it's coming out for this console. I'm like, yeah, I know. I know it is.
Just here, take my money.
I'm just like, no, not this time. You already got it. I already bought this like 8 times. You're not getting it this time. Like, come on.
Yeah, please stop.
You don't want to play on here? What about this? You can play it over there. No, not there either. How about this? No, fucking stop. I already own it on everything else. Come on. It's a good game. I know it's a fucking good game. I know it is. Everybody does. It's fantastic. I'm done buying it. I've been buying it for 20 years.
Just one more time. Come on.
Come on.
Just another hit. Come on. Get a little bit more Symphony of the Night in you. Did you know that the game goes upside down when you beat it? Yeah, I know. Everybody knows that. Everybody's heard that a million times. We've all experienced it. Alucard's cool. Yeah, I know. He's pretty
His
cool.
name is Dracula backwards.
Yeah, everybody knows. Thanks. Fucking, we've all bought it 20 times. Anyway, we're talking about Crackdown 3, so let us know in the comments. What do you think of Crackdown 3? Have you played it? Have you not played it? Why are you not playing it? Do you plan on playing it? If you are playing it, what do you think about it? Honest opinions, and nobody's going to give you shit for what you think of it. If you fucking love it, let me know why you love it. You can easily convince me to buy a game as long as you tell me it's pretty good. So, let me know everything you're thinking about when it comes to Crackdown 3. What do you think about the development cycle of this game and what came of it? Do you think it, served it, the time put into it, worked out for it? Or do you think developmental hell fucked it up in some way? Let me know everything you think about when it comes to Crackdown 3. Another game I am super excited about. Anthem's coming out very soon. It kind of already came out a little bit. People played it for like 10 hours or some shit, so I'm told. But yeah, there is a trailer that was directed by Neil Blomkamp, by Oats Studios, which is his independent film company, and they partnered with BioWare and EA, and he directed a 3-minute trailer called Conviction for Anthem. I thought it'd be interesting to watch because I actually really like Neil Blomkamp, and I like Oats Studio a lot, and I am in the middle about thinking about what my opinion on Anthem. I've played it. It's okay. People are saying it's good to not good. So that part's not as exciting. I'm just kind of excited to see what he did with it. He also did like a Halo trailer back there. That's why he got fucking famous. He's supposed to direct a Halo movie and Alien 5, and neither of those worked out for him, which kind of sucks because the 3 movies he's made on the budgets he made on them, this motherfucker's a legend. So like he should not have been able to make District 9 on that fucking budget. That was like the same year Avatar came out, and it cost like fucking $600 billion to make Avatar, and then someone handed him like $5, and he's just like, yeah, I'll take care of it. I'll do it. And then he made like photorealistic fucking aliens.
Yeah, it was weird.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
I like both movies though, so I'm not trying to talk shit. Yeah, we're gonna watch this. What do you guys got any things to say about this before we watch?
I have very little to say in regards of
anything
of Anthem, just because I don't have we discussed. I don't really have a strong desire to play this type of game right now, and I keep hearing essentially it's fine.
Yeah,
and that's not exciting for me.
Yeah,
so I have other games to play.
People who like Xbox, Crackdown 3, Anthem, and what was the first thing we watched?
Battlerite Royale.
All those people are gonna watch this episode and fucking burn us to the ground.
Well, they're not in the right spot then.
Episode 89, the haters episode.
I'm not hating, just you.
Not us.
Definitely picked stuff that was not up our.
Oh, it's fucking Seth's fault, huh?
You picked the videos.
Seth's fucking channel. Seth fucking. It's his shows, his ideas. 100%. He edits the episodes. He picked the things to watch. True. He's talking the shit.
No, that last part's not true.
Okay. No. All right. I was just backing you up.
That being said, I also really enjoy Neil's work.
Blomkamp.
So this should be fun at the very least, I think.
It's Afrikaans. Chris, thoughts on Afrikaans?
I'm kind of in the same boat as Chevy. Like, just not looking for a game that's mediocre at the moment. There's plenty of those to go around.
But what do you think about Anthem? We're not talking about Crackdown 3 anymore. Ooh, got him. Where's the ointment at on that burn?
The shade of it all. I didn't get to play the demo or the demo weekend. I didn't get to play that because I have a job now and it's awful.
Yeah.
Welcome to adulting.
Yeah, they are awful.
No.
My back hurt all last week.
Everything I've heard about it is like you said. It's okay to mediocre. I'm not hearing anything amazing. I'm not hearing anything terrible about it either. But it's just, I don't know. I'm not looking for something that's mediocre.
Did you like or have you seen District 9, Chappie, or Elysium? Uh-oh.
I think I've seen District 9.
Okay. It's pretty much a video game movie, but it's...
I think that's the only one I've seen. I didn't see Chappie,
fuck.
and I think I've seen parts of Elysium.
I think me and Seth are probably like some of the only people who liked Elysium.
Yeah, I like all his movies. I even like Chappie, and I'm not a D'Antvert fan.
I haven't watched that one yet. I still, for some reason, have missed that movie.
Chappie's book! You don't still call some daddy! He beats the fuck out of someone because he's like, that guy stole that car from me. And it's just some guy driving his own car. And Chappie beats the fuck out of the guy and pulls him out of the car. He's like, you don't still call some daddy!
Oh.
Yeah. It's good. It's fun. Let's watch this.
Let's watch this.
You ready, Chris?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, and go.
Damn, he's pulled 2 million views.
EA Games.
Long, long ago, we were the slaves of the Urgoth. And eventually, after much strife, we broke free.
There's HBO ad, dude. Fucking sign him up.
We made our walls
Yeah.
high. And our convictions strong. But there are many dangers. No one can survive out there on their own.
We found her last night in the jungle.
They said she must have been out there for years.
It's not possible. I always knew this day would come. A new beginning.
You'll get your son back. You have my word.
And yet, new enemies would be forged.
Definitely him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely got a style.
The line would be crossed. Things would never return to the way before.
I gotta tell you, if someone would give him the budget and a decent script, he'd be the guy to make a video game movie.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think he could have totally done a fucking Halo movie for sure.
Look deeper, and you will see. Visions, Kelly. Your history. Your future. A life unlived.
Those are very his movies shot.
You sold us out! I never should have trusted you! She's in the middle of it. It's not possible.
The anthem swims through your mind. It knows you. It knows us all.
buy it February 22nd.
Okay, that literally gave me goosebumps watching that.
You watch his movies.
Yeah, his movies are fucking dope.
He also has, I think it's on that YouTube channel. He has a bunch of little free.
Oats Studios, yeah, he does like 15-minute movies that are really fucking cool.
He's like I was saying when we were watching it, like if someone gave him the budget and a decent script, he'd make the video. He'd be the guy to make a video game movie.
He's an early visionary director that just hasn't been funded. Like all the great directors who are old now, who made all those great movies in like the 80s and the 70s and shit. He's one of them. He's just not getting the money to make movies. Like every time I see one of his movies, I'm like, he has such fucking cool ideas.
So that was very cool.
Yeah.
I wish I was interested in the game, but I would watch that movie.
That's what I was gonna say. I was watching. I'm like, if that was a movie, I'd be down to watch it. It looks fucking cool. I
want it to be an HBO series. Like that's what I want from it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looked like a show that you would see on HBO for sure, which I would totally watch too. It's funny too because all the advertising for Anthem so far has been like, generic rock songs and shit, and people flying around. It's like, get your buddies and get ready to squad up. And it's just like, that's what those games do.
Yep.
No, that was like fucking intense and epic, and the cinematography was really good. I don't know shit about the story of Anthem, so all the things they're mentioning, I'm just like, it sounds epic.
Yeah, that's what happens when you have an advertising budget, though.
Yeah.
You can make stuff like that.
Well, that's the thing that's kind of neat about him doing. I like how we're talking about him and not Anthem, really. But that's the thing.
His product.
When he first started Oats Studios, at first I was like, what the fuck? How is he getting the funding to be making these movies? But he made District 9 on the cheap, so the motherfucker knows how to do CGI cheaply. But at the same time, it's advertising. Mm-hmm. It's just getting viewed on YouTube. He already has a foot in the door anyway, and now EA's like, hey, make a fucking commercial for Anthem, and he got paid for it. I'm sure they funded it.
Yep,
so
for sure,
it's interesting that he's pretty much made a advertising company for himself with Oats Studios.
Yeah,
so
smart.
Yeah,
and anyone can upload to YouTube. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you haven't watched any of his shorts, check him out. He's got a bunch of them on there, and they're all free, so to watch. So they're really neat. But yeah, does that get me excited for Anthem?
No,
not really, which is kind of weird because I actually really liked the trailer. It got me pumped for something.
Yeah, I and we already said it, but I could watch that, for a long fucking time.
If he was directing that into something, yeah, fuck yeah.
But I think because we've been playing games and we've gone through so much gaming advertising over the years and stuff like that, you see something that isn't gameplay and the brain immediately goes, this is advertising.
Yeah.
And you just acknowledge it for what it is, versus like when you watch like an E3 or, a PlayStation experience or, any other event and they actually have like a gameplay presentation. That's all of a sudden when you're getting all pumped and hyped for the game at that point, because you're being shown the game. And in this, you told me we're essentially watching a 3-minute movie by Neil Blomkamp, and I was like, oh, cool, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, and that's what it was. Even though it was technically an Anthem advertisement, it does get that word out there, and maybe people who aren't necessarily somehow missed an advertisement for this game, but they're into this guy. It's just more people paying attention to the game. So I mean, it's smart in that regard. So. Yeah,
it just kind of circulates in that ecosystem of like whether you're into him or the game, you're getting advertising both ways
for sure.
So for me though, as a big movie fan, that just really kind of solidified that I like his style. And I wish he'd make more movies. And he's been fucked out of 2 pretty big movies that would have put him on the map.
Yeah.
So, and when he makes his own movies, people like him. But, they're always lower budget. If he had like a budget to make a huge fucking movie with a property that people love, I think it would really,
I think so too.
knock it out of the park. I was really stoked for Alien 5 because when they're like, he's going to direct it, I'm like, I think he could do it.
Yeah. And then Ridley Scott went, I'm taking it back.
Yeah, he's like, I know I said I wasn't going to make Alien anymore, but I want to do it right now.
And I'm Ridley Scott, and you can't tell me no.
Yeah, there's no discussion. And then he has to go, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yep.
It's yours. So, thanks for even thinking of me.
Yep. Thanks for the nod.
Yeah. And I like Ridley Scott, so I'm just like, that just sucks. That's a shitty situation. Where do we go from that? It was a cool trailer. Neil Blomkamp's awesome. Anthem, I hope, is awesome. And if you guys are enjoying it, tell me what you're loving about it. We already talked to Psycho about it. There's a lot of things about he's liking.
He's probably the most fair person. I've talked to, because he's not trying to just shit all over it, you know.
Well, I can tell that he's interested in the game. He enjoyed it. Even talking with like Almixai, fucking, he bought it. He's playing it, but he's more thinking about. And sorry if I'm not trying to represent you guys and your thoughts. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What we got from it.
What I got from it, yeah. But he was more so worried about, pretty much what we're worried about in the sense of like the longevity of it, where it's going to go when he's done with it. Is he just going to be done with it, or is he going to have something to look forward to? Which is the big problem with that genre at all. But I don't know. I'm fucking like on the fence of just picking up for the fuck of it, just to have it, because
here's what's gonna happen.
I know enough people who are gonna play it.
We're gonna end up getting this game at some point. It's gonna happen.
I just not stoked to get it
but
first day.
Are we gonna get it at $60, or are we gonna wait till 3 DLCs come out and there's a deal on the vanilla game? I mean,
or they release it for free.
Yeah, I mean that's really what it's gonna come down to.
Are we gonna play it for Plus Club?
I have a feeling it's gonna be the latter.
Yeah.
So.
Unless it comes out and gets great reviews and people are like, yeah, the full game's awesome. I've been telling everybody, like, if you beat the game, it sucks that I'd never want anyone to tell me what they really think of a game after they beat it, like, in detail. But, like, this game, you know, if someone beats it and they're like, this game's fucking awesome, like, the end game is really good, then I'll be like, oh, that's good. Mm-hmm. That actually gets me stoked. Because I have the same concerns as I would say most people do. There's not a whole lot of, like, different opinions when it comes to people's concerns with the game. It's all the same concern pretty much. So, and I don't know if the demo really helped that at all. So I think the people who are playing it and enjoying it for what it is, you know, are in the right. But I also think people who are concerned where it's going, like I said, I don't really think I haven't heard a whole lot of people say the game's bad. It's just not enough to get them fucking super pumped. I've seen a couple people on like YouTube who are like, I installed this shit.
We've done this a couple times now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I said that earlier.
Lessons weren't learned.
Yeah. It's all these games are pretty much doing the same thing. I'm waiting for the one that goes the extra mile. Fucking is, you know, DE and fucking just.
Hey, there's even people who
just
want someone else to come up and be great anyways because they want DE to get motivated again, I guess. Because there's a lot of people feel like they're just kind of slowing down. So
yeah, it's weird how they've been making that game for so long, and now it just kind of like has been put into the genre with everybody else. Even though that game follows a lot of like hub-based faux MMO 4-player co-op games that have existed way before PSO, PSU, Vindictus, bunch of games have existed before it, but now that it's big and popular, it just kind of gets lumped in. And I think it's fair at this point because you are getting an experience where you're partnering up with your friends and going to missions together and coming back to a hub, like all these games. But
easily putting hundreds of hours in.
But DE has, they're dreamers. They got fucking ideas and they realize them. Mm-hmm. I never know what's coming next in Warframe, and I love that. Whereas a lot of these games, I know what's going to happen. And I don't want to know that. I want to fucking go, oh shit, what's going to happen in the end? When someone's like, oh, in the Division 2, you're going to get some weapons at the end that you can't get for the rest of the game. I'm like, that's a start. That's good. Mm-hmm. But now I know that too. And I'm just like.
Now what?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just waiting for someone to go like, at the end of the game, you're going to have a fucking spaceship that you and your friends are going to be able to fucking upgrade and work towards making better while doing fucking. Just anything to fucking add to it, like something big and grand, something that you're gonna be like, this is awesome. I want to do this with my fucking friends.
Yep.
Not just go, let's run that dungeon over and over again until I get that weapon everybody has. So, sorry to shit on all those games. I like them all.
I would say
enough.
I've spent all day today killing things over and over and over again for a level.
Yeah.
So.
I'm just trying to be clear when Anthem's just the new one that's coming out. The Division will be the next one, but that's why we're talking about it. But like I keep trying to take the conversation away from Anthem because I don't think there's anything wrong with Anthem. It's more the genre. So I want to keep
definitely not a focal point on one.
Yeah, I'm trying to divert the fucking conversation over to the genre itself because the genre itself has not been around long as it is right now, but it's already tired. So it's
not being pushed.
Yeah, I mean, Battle Royale's pushed harder than that genre.
They're taking the Comcast approach and giving you just enough to keep you paying.
Yeah.
So
pretty much. It's not quite an MMO. It
There's
doesn't have the
no-
support,
well,
but it's not also a simple co-op shooter.
Right. And there's no excuse they couldn't put the time and effort into making something crazy. But
Especially AAA companies. They should be able to do fucking the sky's the limit. Get crazy.
you got to
with
make
it.
that top profit, though. The top profit.
I look at that little French guy who's fucking making goddamn Beyond Good and Evil 2 and the scale of what they're doing with that fucking game. And I'm not trying to say that's part of that genre, but like that game's got co-op.
Mm-hmm. And that definitely is coming off as a passion project.
That game is insane looking. I'm pumped for that shit. Why the fuck are none of these companies doing something like that?
It's expensive.
That guy's doing it. He's fucking up there crying about it because he likes it.
Well, and it's just funny because that is a huge company that is taking a risk. But we've said it before. Ubisoft will take risks, but they also have their safe zones that they're making their money in, and they do just enough to keep you buying them. Like, they're just a little less.
They got their formulas.
They're just a little less. Here's a little more about it than other companies are. They
also, like we say all the time, real quick to fucking step back.
Yeah.
Like, how about this? But like, I fucking hate. They're like, whoa, we're joking. Hold on,
what are you talking about?
Give us 4 years. It's gonna be amazing.
They take a risk every once in a while with Assassin's Creed, and when it works, they go, okay, let's run this until people get bored of it. And they're doing it right now with the RPG model, and people are loving it right now. But people are gonna get bored, and they're gonna have to try something else, and people are gonna go, I don't like it. And they're, we're not doing it anymore, like you said. And then when they like it, they're like, this is Assassin's Creed now.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah,
that's why when I see Far Cry New Dawn, going a different direction, I'm like, is Ubisoft trying to fucking change this up?
Yeah,
'cause they've done it before. They do this shit. They're like, you guys like this? No, okay, we don't either. Fuck that game. Or they're like, you like this? I'm like, yeah, this is great. They're like, this is the game now.
They're like the guy in the kitchen who's just cooking a bunch of shit, and they're like serving it, and then they're just like,
do you like it?
No, that's not a good. Okay.
Needs more salt. Okay,
cool. Yeah.
Hold on a second. let me figure this out.
I agree.
Where's fucking Activision? You're like, I don't like this. Like,
Eat it.
But you bought
Pay
it.
double.
You already got it though, so just make the best of it. I'm done talking to you. The transaction's complete. And EA, you're like, I don't like this. They're like, fuck you.
Yeah, Activision's literally like product, money, and then like you look at it, you look up, and they're gone.
Like, bye, bitch. Just fucking bunch of car exhaust in your face. You're like, where the fuck did they go?
Yeah, he's just sitting there staring at you, and you go to say something, they bam, backhand.
And then they fucking tell you there's something wrong with you. This game's not good. You're not good. You're not good enough. We shouldn't be fucking making this shit for you.
Like we're just giving them all personas.
They've had, dude. These have been the personas in my head for fucking years. When what was that company that's trying to buy out Ubisoft and they started doing some crazy shit? Yeah, I wanted to make a whole fucking parody where goddamn there was a baguette that said Ubisoft, and fucking the guy who runs Ubisoft is holding it, and Vivendi comes up and they're like, give me that baguette. He's like, no, it's my baguette. He's like, give me that baguette. He's like, no, it's my baguette. And fucking, they start ripping chunks off 75%. Like, I want 75%. Like, that's my 75%. Be perfect. That's what was happening. Like, no one get the baguette. And he fucking throws it in the toilet. If they're not gonna have it, no one's gonna have it. That's what was happening.
You're insulting Jeremy.
He's French Canadian. I didn't say shit about Canadians. That's I'm talking about the French. My favorites. With my perfect accent. It's very good. I think that's a good place to end it, though. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck we've been talking about for the last 5 minutes, but let me know what you think of it. What do you think about the French? Keep it good and nice and civil.
Think about Neil Blomkamp.
What do you think about Afrikaans? What do you think about baguettes? What do you think about faux MMOs as a genre? Do you think there's room? Are you tired of them? Are you where we're at? Do you fucking love them?
What would fix them for you if you do have a problem with them?
What companies would you give a persona to? Like I said before, I think Nintendo's just like, you like fun? I'm like, yeah, I like fun. We were going to have fun. That's Nintendo. I was just clapping and having fun. High-fiving and shit. And they're just rooting you on. Yeah, you did it. That's Nintendo. Just the best moral support you could ever fucking have.
So they're a cheerleader.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah. They love it. They love you loving it. It's all good. It's all good in Nintendo. Yeah, let me know anything you're thinking about. And that's going to do it for this episode of Tastecast episode 89. Thank you for hanging out and listening to all that shit. As always, make sure to like, subscribe to Joe's episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Check us out on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook at Tasty Gaming. Check us out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. That's me. And Tasty_Fruit. That's Chris. You can check out my streams on this channel as well when I stream. I dual stream when I stream. So if you're here and you don't like Twitch, you're like, I'm not going to fucking Twitch. You don't have to. You can just stay right the hell here. Although if you want to watch them later, the streams on Twitch are recorded way better on Twitch than on YouTube. They look like shit here, so pick your poison. We have a Discord link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. You can hop in there and be like, Seth, play Apex Legends with me. I'd be like, maybe. And then you play it and you get to level fucking 40, and then I come back and you start telling me how to play the game I already played, Wade. It's very fun to play that game with you. And we are on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms. If you prefer to listen to us because you don't like watching things with your eyes, you use those for better things. Save some data while you're driving to work or wherever the fuck you do in your life. I'm sure it's great. I'd love to hear about it. Comment below. Yeah, my name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
I'm Chris.
And until next episode, which should be Taste Tuesday, doing it all over again. Have a great weekend. This will probably be out by Monday, though, so have a good Monday. And until Tuesday, have a good one, guys, and take it easy.
Au revoir.
Au revoir. This is my baguette. No.